All right. Chris, would you like to be a voting member this evening?
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome. All right. Okay. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to start. John, can I get a confirmation that you're ready for note taking?
I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you, John. I just want to make sure before we start. Okay.
Can you see the agenda on my screen?
I can. I'm going to pull up my own so it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Great. So we'll call to order at, 7:02. And with that, let's start with the reading and approval of the board minutes from our February 2nd board meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
So motion.
All right, I heard Gabe and Don both move. How about
Don move, I'll second.
there you go. Don Massey made the motion. Gabe seconded. Is there any questions, any discussion about the meeting minutes from last month?
I think we're good.
All right, hearing none. All those in favor, I'm a little rusty at Robert's rules here. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Or raise your hand. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, John, for taking notes last month. Appreciate it. Do we have any updates from our webmaster, Gabe? Any updates for us?
Nothing this month. It's been a light month as far as news and updates, but as you know, with our Facebook, we're doing just fine. There's nothing new to report there.
Yeah. Okay. Can you, are you able to tell, Gabe, how many people access, how many hits we get on the website?
I can.
And because I know, some websites, some companies, some jurisdictions, they keep pretty detailed track record of how they access it, if it's phone, if it's a laptop, or if it's a PC, if it's how long they were on each page. I mean, I don't know what we track on ours.
We don't have that robust of reporting, but we do have a visitor, and I can show you that real quickly here.
Cool. I was just curious just to see how much traffic we get on the website versus kind of how much we see in the Facebook group.
Yeah, let me share this real quick. Just take a look and tell me if the numbers speak to you. So as you can see, we have a little down in sessions. It means the session is actually somebody surfing the actual website, and page views is just single page views. The average time has gone up, so people are spending a little more time looking at things on the website, and the bounce rate's down, which means people aren't just hopping on and then leaving immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's that center report there.
Yeah. And is that over? Oh, that's the last 30 days.
Last 30 days, yeah.
Oh, so 256 hits just in the last 30 days. Even, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of impressed with that. Even though it's down 14%, that's good.
We seem to have some regular people coming to the site, and it's usually about 220 to 300 on average per month.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm hoping people are finding what they're looking for. So excellent. Well, thank you for that, Gabe. I appreciate that. And appreciate all the work you're doing, making our website much more user-friendly and able to find stuff. So I appreciate that.
Happy to help.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for web stuff or Facebook stuff before we move on? Okay, hearing none. We can always circle back if we need to. Current business. First topic
How about treasurer's report?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Appreciate it. Treasurer's report,
A
yeah.
little update on the treasurer's report. I took it upon myself to, since I hadn't seen a treasurer's report today, to text Russell. He's been slammed at work and therefore unable to attend our meeting tonight, and he's unable to put together a treasurer's report for the month of February.
Okay.
However, I did remind him that he has in his possession our notice that we need to renew our corporation with the Secretary of State,
Mhm.
which he did within the last half hour.
Okay.
And he forwarded that to me, and I have forwarded to the rest of us. So we have filed our $10 fee to renew our corporation with the Secretary of State.
Great. Thanks, Larry. So then next month for our April meeting, we'll see February and March treasurer's report, hopefully. At least that's the plan, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I reminded him that he had 2 months of treasurer's reports he's going to have to give to us next month.
Got it. Okay, now let's move on to current business. Starting with Orange Gate Park. Larry, is that, I'm assuming that's going to be your update?
Yeah, happy to give that. Little reduction in hours during the month of February, 10.5 hours. As far as I know, I was the only one that was out there on behalf of the Summer Waller Community Association. I tried to get in touch with Scott Bird, but haven't been able to voice-wise actually talk with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't gotten back to me whether he had done anything in the park. I will tell you that as I walk through the park, I'm realizing that mid-January windstorm brought down a lot of trees within the park, which took a lot of volunteer hours to clear the trails in January. That's why the volunteer hours were way up. I would also suggest that, let's see, we had, that's brought up a concern. There's 2 concerns that, one concern that I have shared with the Parks Department, my contact there, and that is the Scotch broom that are within the park underneath the power lines, and I believe them to be the Tacoma power lines. They're almost 10 feet tall now, and there's all kinds of suspicious trails through there. A couple days ago, I went through there and picked up quite a bit of garbage. Stuff that I found which would indicate that there are sexual and other illegal activities going on in the Scotch broom forest. And so I've asked the Parks Department to get in contact with Tacoma Power and see if we can't have those brush cut down. And I know that they've done that before. Tacoma Power has done that before. So that's one thing. And I think that I will follow that up with a letter from the community association.
Okay.
And the other one is, especially the 40 acres north of 84th, which is bounded by 84th on the south, 46th Avenue on the west, 80th Street East on the north, and 50th Avenue East on the east side. On the north and east sides, there are lots of residential houses. And because there's so much fuel on the floor of that 40 acres, and because the prevailing winds come out of the southwest, in talking with neighbors, I haven't talked with anybody yet at 50th, but I'm sure that they feel the same way. we're a bit concerned that if a fire gets started in that 40 acres, our houses are toast because there's so much fuel on the floor. And so in that same letter, I would like to address those two issues, and I will work on that letter during the course of March. And if I can get approval from the board to write a letter to the Pierce County Parks Department addressing those two issues, I will be happy to do that.
I'm fine with the writing a letter. Would you mind sharing it with the board before we send it so we can have an opportunity to look at it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I think we can do that by consensus, can't we?
I would think so. Dawn, what's up?
Yeah, hey Larry, what is the chance of selectively logging or extracting some of that timber that is down? I think there's some value in it, but are you pulling hen's teeth to get that to happen?
Well, it would be up to the Parks Department decision as to how they would deal with that. I have suggested that they issue wood permits for people to go in and start taking wood out of there. I mean, obviously along 84th Street, anything that's pretty close to the road, people have been taking wood, I suppose illegally, out of Orange Gate already.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of standing dead trees that are gonna come down, and there's a lot of salvageable wood. I agree with that, but then the problem, they're gonna have to sign a waiver of liability. They're gonna have to be monitored, so they're not cutting down live trees. It's a catch-22. If they had a private small logger or somebody that could go in there and clean that up, it would be a benefit to the habitat and to the users of the park.
I agree with that, Don. However, that would be the Parks Department's problem.
Well, I
think it's
understand
important.
that, but I'm just asking, is that something you want to address with your letter?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Okay.
I think it's important that, I've been told before, by calling people in the Parks Department, that doesn't leave a paper trail. So it's important to have a paper trail because it goes into the public record if you have an email or a letter that goes to the Parks Department. And that's maybe another reason why a letter would be good.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm wondering
Call for the
too.
question?
I was just gonna say, I'm wondering if they don't, it's tricky, right? Like Don brought up some good points about liability and that sort of thing. But with the master plan in progress, I'm wondering if they'll want to defer to when they're actually doing the work out there. Because I think that Orange Gate has some money slated for some maintenance and vegetation work next year. So I'm guessing they'll defer until then to do it, but I agree, having it in writing will be helpful to give us some standing, and we can point back to that letter when that time comes. So Larry asked the board if we would approve of him writing a letter or drafting it up and letting the board see it regarding Orange Gate Park. I guess I should say, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you very much.
hearing none,
On
go ahead
another
and
issue-
draft that up.
On another issue, proposal 2021-14, Parks and Recreation Citizens Advisory Board. Currently, there are 7 members. Actually, there are 9 members. There's a member from each of the 7 Pierce County Council districts and 2 at-large positions. This proposal will add 2 new members for a total of 11. I guess the county is going to discontinue another commission, and then they're going to add 2 positions to the Parks and Recreation Citizens Advisory Board. And those 2 extra members will represent various others recreational activities. So they're basically, bottom line is they're eliminating a commission and then expanding the Parks Citizen Advisory Board position or commission by 2. So I'll make it 11 members. So that's just an FYI, and I don't remember exactly when that comes up for a final vote. If maybe it has already, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
All right, thanks, Larry. Pipeline Trail is next on the agenda. But does anyone have any updates for that item on the agenda? Okay, hearing none. I'm assuming Bob put it on there because he was going to update us.
I checked today to see if there were 2 abandoned toilets there at the west gate at the Pipeline Trail, but they've been removed. So I can't offer some toilets to anybody on the board free of charge.
Larry, when I came by there about 4:30 this afternoon, it looked like a pickup was backed against the gate, and I wasn't going to slow down, but it looked like there was some attempt to deposit a bunch of household goods at the gate.
Yeah, my cleanup today was from 11 until 2:30, so I didn't see those vehicles there. They were not there at 2:30.
Yeah.
Dawn, you said you saw him at about 4:30. Is that what you said?
Correct.
So we might be making another phone call tomorrow to
Yeah,
the
quite
county to come
possibly.
pick them up.
Yeah. don't
I
know,
will
just
tell you
like
that.
a pickup.
I will
backed
tell
up.
you. I was going to say today in my litter pickup routine, I picked up more aluminum cans than I ever before. I had to bring my pickup truck around to pick up the bags of glass and aluminum cans. That meadow right off of 84th on the north side of the street, there were Rainier cans scattered all over that whole meadow area, and even down 46th Avenue. So sometime in the last few days, there's been I don't know, party atmosphere out there in Orange Gate.
What were you going to say, Dawn?
Oh, that pickup truck was back tight against it, and it looked like it was full of household garbage, and there was something being flipped out the back. I didn't.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I mean, even if you call while it's happening, it doesn't matter. The county's not going to prosecute, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of bluff your way through that situation.
I know. All right. Moving on to Canyon Rim Estates. Looks like the hearing is coming up on Wednesday, March 3rd, and the link to that is in the agenda. I don't have any other information on that unless anyone else does.
I just know that's what Dan is not here for. He's prepping for that tomorrow.
Oh, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow. I cannot believe tomorrow is March 3rd. Oh my gosh. I
It's February 30th.
really think it's still February.
It's February 30th.
It is February 30th. Oh gosh. Well, I plan on catching part of that tomorrow morning, so I was going to see if I could join that meeting virtually. So I guess we'll hear more from Dan and Bob, either by email or next meeting. Looks like Pierce County Community Plan Update is the next one on the agenda as well. And it looks like the email that you sent out, Larry, you forwarded from Cindy Beckett, sounded like the council moved the formal adoption date to later this year
October.
because of the 3 appeals that have been combined into one. And I looked at that a little bit, and it's the Summit Waller Community Association. It's Forterra. And there is a developer, a large landowner / developer, that they are all appealing the community plan updates. It sounds like for different reasons, but they're combining it into one. So, and I think that date, like the first hearing date, is in June or something like that. I remember looking at that. So we don't really have much to do in the meantime except listen and wait and prepare. Unless anyone else has any updates.
Yeah, those are proposals 2021-16, 17, 18. And the centers and corridors proposals are 19 and 20. And they were emergency proposals to move the effective dates to October the 1st, so that
thank you.
These appeals could be fully worked through before they revisit the community plan updates and the centers and corridors issue.
Great. Any more questions or discussion on community plan updates? All right, hearing none, let's move to compression breaking on Canyon Road. Dawn, do you have any updates for us?
Yeah, it was presented at a council meeting last week for an introduction, and it's scheduled for a vote very soon. I think Larry probably has the date and more information on that, but I think it's looks favorable for passing. It's just got to go through the system.
Yeah, I think that might be coming up next Tuesday's Pierce County Council meeting for a final vote.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was an interesting side note. I'd mentioned a couple of months ago that a sign was missing off of 512 as you approach the westbound exit to Canyon. And it really, without looking at the code ordinance number that is specific to that sign, it does not tell you where it's prohibited. So extracting that, it is the off and on ramps in both directions that is illegal for use of compression brake, which is kind of ironic because you can come flying across 112th over the freeway and put your compression brake on because there's no restriction against it. So, you know, go figure that. But anyway, it is proceeding, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Great.
A question for Don. Once that ordinance goes into effect, once the the road is finished and the signs are up. So if you're standing out in front of your house on Canyon Road and some truck uses its Jake brakes going northbound on, how is that going to be enforced? I mean, unless there's a sheriff's deputy there, I would assume.
I think that visual identification of the truck and calling it into their corporate headquarters and reminding them is probably going to go quite a ways, because those entities don't like negative public comment.
I would totally agree with that, Don, because there was a dump truck that illegally dumped some stuff on Pipeline Road off of 84th. And as the truck came by me, I caught the company logo on the side, and I called the company, and their owner called me back and apologized and said that it would be cleaned up the next day, which happened to be a Sunday, and it was cleaned up.
Yeah. Well, it'll be handled.
Hopefully.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Don.
Sure.
All right, we're on to new business. And this is a good reminder to start thinking about our annual newsletter that we would normally put out for our annual meeting. That is the first Tuesday of May. I'm going to assume there is no annual meeting, at least in person. However, let's talk about the newsletter as well. Looks like Bob was looking for some topics to include in the newsletter. We have the usual come to the annual meeting article. We have a message from the president, which is now Bob. We have information about the Walla Road litter pickup, which, John, have you heard from the county at all if they resumed that program yet?
There's no news there at all. So
Okay.
no.
Okay. We'll assume that there's no organized litter pickup. So what's left to report on? If there's no parks appreciation and Orange Gate cleanup at Walla Road and meeting.
Well, I'm going to be looking for poison hemlock in Orange Gate Park again.
Okay.
Or maybe a way to
I would
identify
rec-
that for people. A small article with a picture saying, here's what it looks like, please avoid.
Yeah, I can come up with that.
Yeah, take some pictures and we can put that together. Sure. The nice thing is we do a digital newsletter. It's all in PDF, so we can do that in color when it's printed. If we decide not to spend the money on color, at least you still have an image in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
We can also maybe do a call to action for just local cleanup, just people doing their best, going out when they take a walk in the park, when they happen to be out in the public. So maybe take some time to pick it up, because right now there isn't an effort, that's organized, because we can't.
Encourage the Walla Road residents to go out in front of their house and pick up trash and
And maybe, go to an area you don't normally go to and help pick up, but informally.
Yeah. And maybe in that same article, it's if you come across large household garbage or construction debris, here's the number to call. So maybe just reminding people what resources are there for them in terms of if they find that sort of stuff.
Something to stopgap between now and time we can actually get organized again in bigger efforts.
Mm-hmm.
I had a thought that I would like to share with the board, and that is that, it is true that we cannot as a group go out and have an organized litter pickup along Walla Road in conjunction with the county. That doesn't mean that we as private citizens can go out and do some things. For example, I was thinking that if we were socially distanced and people wore the reflective vests and if they want to wear a helmet, they can. They have one. Pick a spot that needs to be cleaned up. We could throw the bags into my pickup truck and I could set them out at Orange Gate where they regularly pick up what I put there anyway from picking up along the roadway. And I was thinking, the like Vickery as it goes over 512 is pretty bad. You just
Yeah.
kind of like meet there on a certain day, spend an hour, and we get that picked up and we're gone within an hour.
Mhm.
If you have 4 or 5 people, we're
Mhm.
outside. We could be wearing masks. We could be socially distanced, and that sort of thing.
I got
might
my
happen.
shots. I don't need to wear them. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
You're vaccinated.
Okay, Mr. Texas.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
I've had my first shot too.
So
How about
Larry,
you, John? John, have you had your first shot?
No, I haven't had a shot. Sue's had a shot, so.
And we
No.
got both of them.
Both of
Larry,
them, okay.
Larry, would you maybe be willing to draft up that article, and maybe it could be kind of an Orange Gate slash, or you and John can maybe work on an article that relates to the topic we just talked about of encouraging people to get out and do things, and a little bit about Orange Gate as well.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Larry, if you want to beat Scotch broom over there underneath the power lines, I ain't afraid to go in there.
Oh no, I'm not. It's not that I'm not afraid to go in there. It's just that if that's not cut down, this summer is going to be pretty bad as far as people who shouldn't be in there doing not appropriate stuff.
Nature lovers.
They
Yeah.
cleared the east side of that last year. There's no reason why Tacoma Power, and that's what their equipment was. That's who did it with their brush hog. Went in there and in a day and a half, they had the entire run knocked down. So it's, I think we should push them hard to do it because Scotch broom is on the hit list of noxious weeds.
Mhm.
That's true. Yep. Well, I'll make a phone call to Tacoma Power about that, but I would kind of like to urge the Parks Department to work in conjunction with Tacoma Power since Harris
Right.
County Parks is actually in charge of the property.
Yeah, makes sense.
One more thing, as far as an article for the newsletter, I had thought maybe this month I might start working on a history of Bird Mill Road.
Oh yeah.
Because I got some materials from John Goodspeed's neighbor, who is the great granddaughter of one of the birds, the original birds, and she has given me through John a bunch of historical stuff that I can put into an article, and then that can go on our website and also maybe into our newsletter for this time around.
That'd be great, Larry.
And that could also go on the website too as a more permanent feature on the site.
Mhm.
History about the area.
We do have with the whole year's minutes, kind of a list of all of the things we've been involved in. I don't know if some sort of a recap of
Mhm.
of our activities, what have we, so what have we been up to?
Mhm.
Just pretty brief, but just to show that we're active despite, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We wrote a letter here, we supported a proposition there.
I can offer to volunteer to write that. That's similar to what we've done in the past of what we're doing and what we plan on doing over the next year. We really haven't done any goals for 2021. So maybe dusting those off and looking at that. And yeah, I'll offer to do that.
Maybe
Okay.
a short little list of online articles with short links for our website, the Facebook page, to get people that haven't actually signed on to those to do it. I'm surprised seeing somebody been living here for 31 years in the area get on Nextdoor for the first time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't recognize the name from our Facebook group either. So there's probably a
Yeah.
few of those out there that might be able to be coaxed in to join the digital side of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As far as the president's message is concerned, maybe Bob should be thinking about a particular community topic that he wants to promote or make everybody aware of as far as that, or maybe it's time for a vice president message,
Or both.
or both.
Oh, I'll talk to Bob about that. Yeah, I think without having the physical in-person meetings, a lot of people just haven't been able to firsthand be in the conversations and know what we're doing. Although they can watch the YouTube recording and they can read the minutes, but I think people miss that in-person update a lot. But yeah, I think that's good. So maybe I was going to say, if we had some pictures, we could put some pictures in there, but it's mostly we wrote some letters and did some other stuff. All right. Well, I'll think about that. When can someone remind me when we typically mail out the newsletters?
Yeah, it's usually about the middle part of April.
Ooh, okay. That's fast approaching.
But then again, since we're not going to have a general membership and community meeting on our first week in May this year, we may have a general membership and community meeting maybe later on in the year, like we had talked about in 2020. We can mail out that newsletter anytime in May, actually. So I mean, we're not up against a definite timeline there.
Yeah. Yeah. What if, Gabe, I don't know what your Zoom license capabilities are.
100 attendees.
Okay. I was going to say, I wonder if we could set it up in a town hall style where someone is presenting and there are participants that can log in and listen, but they can't. It's different. It's a different format, a different kind of not platform. It's just a different format set up. Our county executive does it where he's the only one talking and people can submit questions via the chat, but nobody else, you can't see anyone else's faces or anything like that. So it's more of a one-way communication. It's not really a meeting, but it's something, and it could potentially be a way for us to communicate sort of face-to-face.
Yeah, I don't have the webinar version, which I think,
Okay.
but we do have it to where people can come into the same meeting. And I mean, I could play whack-a-mole and either mute everybody that's not muted or kick them if they're being disruptive. But that's about it.
Okay. Okay.
But we can host up to 100 people in one meeting.
Okay. All right. I'm just thinking.
I think it's the same license that Bob has as well, I think.
Okay. All right. Any other ideas for articles for the newsletter? Since the middle of April
Madam
really
Vice
is. Go ahead, Larry.
Last year, I believe, Lisa Ikeda did the whole newsletter. Is that correct?
Jen did it last year for us.
Yeah, Jen
Oh,
did.
Jen did.
Yeah,
Oh.
and
Mhm,
Jen and I worked together to get the
Oh,
format
that's right.
together. Yeah, and then she
Mhm.
did the whole letter.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think we can probably assume that Jen would be willing to do it again this year then.
But we should ask her, yes.
Yeah, we both have the format, so I can assemble it. I just need the information too. So if she's
Okay.
not able to,
All right. Well, if you guys think of other stuff that comes to your mind, just feel free to shoot everyone an email. Looks like under new business, we've got consistent use of logos and imaging. Was that something, Gabe, that you were on point to talk about, or was that Bob?
but that was actually me. That was just
Mhm.
trying to get everybody to send me what they had. I got a bunch from Lisa, from old stuff that she had. So what I like trying to put together the common header,
Mhm.
maybe a letterhead, and all the only thing I don't have is anything from Russell as far as what he's using for a template for the treasurer's report.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
other than that, it's just about that consistent document look.
Mhm. Okay.
Gabe, do you actually need people to send you more stuff, or do you think you have a pretty good handle on a design already for a common header for all the different things?
I'm basing it right now off of what we have for the board and supporting member forms. So those I actually started doing a header on those just to try to keep them both looking the same. So it's basically it's a Word document or Word template that just allows you to open it up and then generate a letter with the same top and bottom.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Okay.
think if we had some more more formal looking letterhead, that would be really nice. I mean, we do submit a lot of letters, so I think that'd be really good. Well, let us know, Gabe, if you need more. I know I sent you a couple things.
Yeah.
Anything else under new business? Okay. We have a space for other on here. Is there any other items that people had they wanted to add to the agenda, but not currently on the agenda?
Nothing here.
Of course, I had something like a week ago and have completely forgotten what it was. So that's my fault for not writing it down. Although, go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that I forwarded something from the League of Women Voters that I only sent that out just to get some conversation going, and it looks like we're not interested. So that's fine. I mean, it's basically for Tacoma anyway.
Yeah.
But Tacoma is just a couple miles away from my house, the city limit. So that was one of the reasons why I forwarded to people for consideration.
Chris, did your wife have the baby yet?
She did, yeah. Right after the last meeting, so on February 4th.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
she came just 2 weeks early, but still full term and is doing great.
Good, glad to hear.
Yeah, we are very tired.
I know. I was kind of interested to see if you were going to join us tonight, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure if the baby's, in the first few weeks here, it's going to be tough. So
Yeah, so she'll be 1 month old on Thursday.
excellent. Well,
right.
congratulations.
So I
Thank
moved to
you.
grant Chris one full night of sleep.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Just one. Just one.
Someday.
Yeah.
So is this your first child?
It is, yeah.
So now the big question is, can you keep this child alive?
So far, it's it's happened. We'll see though.
I just remember for our firstborn son, my wife and I were ever so careful because, this is a new experience for us and we got to keep this kid alive.
Oh yeah, it's like you walk around carrying a piece of crystal.
And please keep in mind that your parents and your wife's parents are now grandparents and life is changing for them. And don't be surprised if they start going bonkers over this kid.
Oh, they have.
Okay.
They have, and there's a couple great grandparents too, so they're pretty happy.
Oh, nice.
wow.
That's cool.
Excellent. All right. Any other compliments, comments, suggestions, criticisms? We take them all.
I think it's great. We're keeping this
I've
under an
read-
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we've got a couple of things to work on in terms of the newsletter in particular. And Larry's going to draft up a letter for TPU and Pierce County for Scottsbroom. And then we meet again on April 6th.
April 6th. I think Mark Gianoble is with us.
Yeah,
Uh,
see
did
his name
Mark-
popped up.
Oh, Mark did join us late. Well, good. Mark,
Silent Mark, good to see
we've,
you.
we've
Say
given you,
something, Mark.
we're going to give you, you got 16 action items, Mark, because you were late. So
Yeah, send him on over.
that's your consolation prize.
Yeah.
You're going to be the honorary chairperson next month.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, you don't want that.
It's easy. You just screw up a lot like I did. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for your time this evening, and we'll see you next month.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.